G'day kids, make sure you hit the subscribe button, that way you won't miss out on any of the new videos that come out. Until then, enjoy this one.
Ozzie, 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 oi! Ozzie is a friend of yours and he's a friend of mine.
G'day Ozzie. G'day Ozzie. G'day Ozzie. G'day Ozzie.
G'day kids, Ozzie here. Now this is going to be an awesome episode because we've come along to a place called Calmsley Hill City Farm and we're going to learn about, you guessed it, farmyard animals. We're going to get up close and personal and meet lots of furry, friendly, cuddly and woolly animals, and if we're lucky we might even learn how to milk a cow. This is going to be a cracker, kids, so come on, let's get inside and check it out. Kids. All right, so we've come along to the farmyard nursery and I'm meeting a nice gentleman here. What's your name?
My name's Ryan.
I'm Ozzie, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Ozzie.
Thanks so much for having us
That's
here.
all right.
Now, what animals can we learn about here today?
Well, would you like to come on in and we'll have a chat about them, eh?
Certainly would. Let's go, kids. So what have we got here, Ryan?
All right, so we've got a few goats and a few sheep in our nursery today. And there's a few things our goats can give us here on the farm. So we can use them for our milk. Usually we find milk from our cows, but can get milk from our goats.
Goat's milk,
okay.
Of course.
Yeah, perfect. You can make some cheese out of your goat's milk
Goat's cheese
well.
is good.
It's beautiful. And then we can also use some of our goats for wool as well, just like our sheep. So here we do have one of our sheep.
Hello. Now, is this a boy or a girl?
So this one's a boy sheep.
And how do we know that?
Well, with our sheep, it's only the boys that tend to get these horns here that we can see on top of this sheep's head here.
Okay.
It's really easy to tell them apart from the girls and the boys, okay? And obviously with our sheep as well, we know that we can get lots of wool from them. So you can see all of this fur here. This is actually called wool. And just like our hair, it keeps growing. So we need to give them a haircut.
Yeah.
And we like to do that about once a year. So only get one haircut a year.
One
That's
haircut
it.
a year.
That is
That's pretty
it.
handy, isn't it?
I know, I wish I got a haircut once a year.
Be good, wouldn't it? Now, what's it called when you cut their hair?
So we call it shearing. So we shear their wool off. For this sheep, it'll be his first ever haircut when it's time to get a haircut. So it's very, very soon. It's going to have the first shear ever.
Once these sheep have been shorn, what do we actually do with the wool?
Right, so once we take the wool off, here on the farm, we put it in these really big bags and we get to sell our wool. And then once it's sold, it might be turned into some thread. We might be able to turn it into some jumpers or beanies or scarves and some lots of stuff to keep us nice and warm in winter.
Very, very good stuff.
Yeah.
So these animals provide us with the wool to keep us warm in the winter.
That's right.
The goats provide us with the milk as well.
Yep.
Is there anything else that sheep give us?
So we can use our sheep for meat as well, but here on our farm we mainly use all of our sheep for all of their wool here. Yeah.
Very good. Now should we go and meet some of the bigger ones?
I reckon we should, yeah.
All right, let's go. Come on,
Let's
kids.
All right, Ozzie, so we've got a few of our cows here today.
Ah, very good. Now what kind of cows are these guys?
Well, these are two of our young dairy cows, all right? So an actual baby cow is called a calf.
Okay.
So they're actually still drinking from their mum at the moment.
Right.
But they're hanging out in our pen for this time of the day.
Very cool. How old would these calves be?
So these ones here, they're now about 5 months old.
5 months?
5 months, yeah. So nearly half a year old.
So these cows are dairy cows, so
That's
that
right.
means that they're bred for their milk?
That's correct, yes.
And you have other cows that you breed on the farm, is that right?
That's right, we do. Yeah, there's one just over here if you want to have a look at it.
Love to.
Yeah, perfect.
And this is an impressive looking cow.
It is. Now, you might be thinking that this is a boy cow or a bull.
It does look like a bull to me.
It does, with those big horns.
Yeah.
This is Sandy. Sandy's one of our girl cows, actually.
It's a girl cow.
Yeah.
Okay, and where's Sandy from?
Sandy is from a place called Scotland.
Scotland.
Yes, that's right. So it gets pretty cold over there.
Yeah.
And you can tell she's from Scotland because she's got that really, really long fur. So
Okay.
we call them Scottish Highlanders. So
Okay.
they're found in the Highlands there. And because it gets so cold, they need that really thick fur to keep them nice and warm in those, the really cold times of the year.
Yeah, right. Now, is this cow bred for meat or for dairy?
This one's bred for meat.
Okay.
So you can use these cows for meat. This is Custard.
Custard. Now that is a cool name. Is that because of the colour?
It does help with the colour, but also it's because she's really good at making something for us.
What does she make for us?
She makes us milk for us. So she's a
course.
dairy cow.
Of course. So kids, you might think that milk comes from a bottle or a carton. Well, you're right, but where does it come first? It comes from the cow. So am I right in saying that the cow produces the milk out of its udders?
That's right. So just near her back legs, we can almost see like a big bag, and that's called her udder, and that's where all the milk is right now. And then a little bit further down, okay, she almost looks like there's like a little finger down there. So that is called her teat. And
Okay.
if we wanted to milk her, we would have to squeeze her teat to get a bit of
Right.
that milk out. Yeah.
But with her calves, that's where they get the milk
That is
from
right.
as well.
Yeah. So those calves will drink from her, and that's where they're going to get the milk from.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. There's lots of things we can make out of our milk. Okay. So from her name, Custard.
Custard.
All right. And there's lots of other different things we can make out of milk. Okay. We've got things like yogurt.
Yep.
All right. There's butter that you might spread on a bit of toast.
Of course.
Okay. Cheese. I like a toasted cheese sandwich myself.
Oh, yum.
Okay. And you can also make a bit of ice cream.
Oh, don't we all love ice cream, kiddos?
It's one of my favourites.
So without the cow, without the beautiful dairy cow, we wouldn't have all those amazing foods. So
That's right.
very important.
They are, yeah. They help make lots and lots of yummy foods for us.
Very good. Now, what other important facts can we find out about these beautiful cows? What else do they do for us in the paddock?
Well, not only do they help keep the grass down so not growing too much, okay, but we can actually use their poo. Okay, we call this manure, and or we can use it as fertilizer. It actually helps the grass and helps our plants to grow nice and big and strong. So you might use it in your garden, in your backyard, help all of your trees to grow nice and big. So really important animal we have here.
Very important animal. Such an important part of farm culture and farm life. isn't
That's
it?
right, absolutely.
Yeah, great.
All right, Ozzie, would you like to know how to milk a cow?
I'd love to learn how to milk a cow right.
Before we milk our cows out, okay, we need to make sure we've got some nice clean hands. So
Of course. I'll give him a wash.
give them a wash, dip them in there. Okay, I'll do the same. I've got my bowl here. All right, we don't want to put any germs onto our cows and make them sick, do we? So, all right, so we come over here, and just like before, remember this part? That's her udder.
Udder.
That's right. And then a little bit further down, we've got her teat. So that's what we have to squeeze to get the milk out. So
Okay.
how I milk the cows out, right? I like to make an L like this. And I just put my L and I squeeze at the top, and all I have to do is just slide down like that.
Squeeze and slide.
Squeeze and slide.
Looks pretty easy.
Do you want to give it a go?
Oh, I'd love to try. Here goes, kids. L shape.
That's it. Up top. Just like a professional.
There you go, kids. So how much milk would we get out of a cow like Custard?
Oh, well, like Custard here, we could get about maybe 25 to 30 litres of milk in one day. So
Wow.
that's it's about maybe 2.5 to 3 of these buckets that we have here today.
Wow.
There's a lot of milk.
That's a lot of milk. That's a lot of bowls of cereal.
It is indeed.
A lot of hot chocolates. A lot of dairy products.
That's right.
Very
I
good.
reckon you've done a pretty good job today.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Ryan. Now, we might leave Custard here. Thank you very much, Custard. And we'll go and check out some more animals, shall we?
No worries. All right, Ozzie, welcome to our chicken coop. We've got some turkeys here with us today.
Chickens and turkeys.
Chickens and turkeys.
Geez, they're big, these turkeys, aren't they?
Yeah, they're pretty decent size.
Yeah, gobble, gobble. So talk to me about chickens. What do we get from chickens that we use for food or
Well,
what
you
else?
can use the chickens for their eggs.
Of course.
You know, so they lay eggs for us, and you know we can have a bit of scrambled eggs, maybe for breakfast.
Beautiful.
You know, egg on your burger. We can also use the chickens for meat as well.
For food, the actual chicken itself.
The actual chicken
Of course.
itself, yeah.
Chicken
that's-
drumsticks.
that's
chicken,
right.
Chicken thighs.
Yeah,
chicken
yeah,
breast.
yeah. A chicken breast, maybe
Yeah.
a roast chicken. You know,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Good, good. So when they lay the eggs,
Mm-hmm.
what's the farmer's job? They come in and grab the eggs, and then they get picked up and taken to the store. How does that work?
Yeah, so the farmer will come along and they'll collect the eggs. Sometimes a very, very big chicken coop where lots of chickens are laying eggs, and they'll
Yep.
collect those eggs, and then eventually they'll go to a special factory where they make sure they're nice and safe for us to eat. They're nice and clean as well
Right.
after coming out of the chicken coop,
Yep.
and then eventually they come to us on the shelves ready to go.
Great.
Yeah.
So if
Lay
we're
lots.
lucky, we could maybe go into the chicken
Yeah,
pen
we
and
might
see if
go
we can find
inside.
an
There,
egg.
there could be some chicken eggs in there, but we'll see how our luck
All right,
goes.
let's go and
Yeah.
see
All right.
if we're lucky. Come
All
on,
right,
kids.
here we go. So, all right, so in here, this is our hen house.
So the hens are the female chickens,
That's right, yes.
right? And they'll come in here to these little hen houses.
Yep.
Or the hen house.
Yep.
And they will lay an egg in there.
And they're laying their eggs in their little nest box.
Now I can actually see in the nest box over there, a couple of little eggs.
Oh, you can indeed, yeah. So we're pretty lucky today. So it looks like some of our hens have left some eggs in there for us to have
Fantastic.
have a look at.
Brilliant. All right, so do you mind if I just reach in and grab one of those?
Yeah, have a look.
All right, so that has been laid today,
Yes.
and we are good to, if we wanted to take that right now and crack it and eat it,
yeah.
can we do that?
Well, as long as we wash that egg and we know that there's no chicken side there, then yeah, you could crack it into a pan and have some eggs.
Fantastic, but
Absolutely.
generally that would go to a factory
Yes.
and then go to the shop, and then
Yeah.
we would buy that from
That's
the shop,
right. So
isn't
that's where we get to see our eggs. So
Yeah.
first it's got to go to that factory, and then it's got to go to the shop, and then that's where we get our nice big carton of eggs.
it? Awesome. I'm just going to pop that back
Yeah.
in there. So we know that the female chicken is called a hen.
Yes.
What's the male chicken called?
Rooster.
A rooster.
That's right.
Okay, have we got any roosters around here?
Well, looks like our roosters are hanging all outside at the moment. So we
Okay.
are in the hen house, so most of the hens are hanging out here.
Fair enough.
But there should be some roosters that we can have a look at outside. if you
Okay.
like.
So this guy over here is a rooster.
That's right, he is, yeah.
Awesome. So how do we know the difference between a rooster and a hen?
Well, there's a few ways to tell. There's definitely a pretty big red thing on top of their head. So we
certainly
call
is.
that a comb. And then right underneath the beak there's something called a wattle, and it hangs a little bit down
wattle?
there. A wattle.
And a comb.
And a comb, that's right, yeah. And then we can look at this rooster. He's got some nice big green tail feathers
Yeah.
as well.
He's a good looking rooster.
He is a good looking rooster. You're not wrong. All right, and then there's one other way to tell if he's a rooster. Maybe bright and early in the morning as the sun rises. They love to make that big old cockle-doodle-doo sound.
They do.
They do. So very, very vocal.
Thanks for showing me the roosters and the hens. Kids, if you want to come along to Calmsley Hill City Farm, it's definitely the place to be to learn about all of these animals, get up close and personal, see where the food comes from and the important role that farms play in our culture. Thank you again.
You're welcome. No worries.
Kids, hope you've learnt lots, hope you've enjoyed it. We'll see you again on the next episode. Until then, stay keen.
Ozzie, Ozzie,
Hey kids, did you have lots of fun today watching Ozzie? I hope so. Did you know that we've got a heap of Ozzie episodes on our YouTube channel? If you haven't already, go back and have a scroll through. I reckon you'll find some others that you absolutely love. And while you're there, why don't you hit subscribe? That way you won't miss out on any of our new videos that we bring out. We'll see you again soon, kids. Until then, stay keen. Oh, and by the way, did you happen to find the hidden Ozzie icon in that video? Yeah, make sure you look closely because they're in every single video. That's right. Stay keen, kids.
Ozzie, 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 oi! Ozzie is a friend of yours and he's a friend of